We're getting ready to go. Just give it 1 second. Still preparing. All right, you're live. Okay.
All right, good afternoon, board members and members of the public. We are here for the ACDHH board meeting. Today is May 14th, and I would like to start by calling the meeting to order at 4:41. And we're going to start with a roll call, please.
Hello, this is Katie Lopez. I will be calling roll for the meeting. Let's begin. First Commissioner P.V. Jantz.
Here.
Sarah Benton. Commissioner Sarah Benton.
Here.
Commissioner Barbara Brimhall.
Here.
Commissioner Antonio Calderon.
Here.
Commissioner Tamara Collinsworth. Commissioner Tamara Collinsworth. Okay, I believe Commissioner Collinsworth is in the meeting. She may be having audio difficulties. I will move on to Commissioner Sue K. Kneifel.
I'm here.
Thank you. Commissioner Annette Reichman. Commissioner Annette Reichman. Commissioner Catherine Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Richard Danover.
Here.
Commissioner Susan Webster.
Here.
Commissioner Fred Williams. Commissioner Fred Williams.
He is here.
Okay. Let's go back to Commissioner Annette Reichman.
Here.
Here.
Okay. Thank you. That concludes attendance.
Okay, thank you. We have a quorum, so we're going to go ahead and proceed with the meeting. So we're going to go on to agenda item number 2 for the approval of meeting minutes from the last meeting on February 20th. If anybody would like to have any discussion about the meeting minutes from the last meeting. Annette Reichman?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
I second that motion.
We have a motion
I second it.
and a second as well. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Now we're going to move on to agenda item number 3, and that is the chair's report. Sherry's just, I just wanted to say briefly thank you to the board, to the staff, and to the public for your patience with us as we navigate the technology and get through this pandemic with the coronavirus. I know we all have challenges that we are facing, and we're dealing with them as they come up and getting through them as best as we can. So we really appreciate your involvement and your efforts to make all of this happen. So I applaud each and every one of you. And that's really all I have to talk about in regards to that. So let's move on to agenda item number 4. And I'm turning it over to Director Sherry Collins.
Hello, everyone. Before we start, I think Commissioner Caldron, your sound is still on. Can you put it on mute? Thank you. That helped reduce the background noise. I think everyone else, let me look. I think everyone is. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, well, it's been very strange times the last few months since our last board meeting because we met in January and then shortly the COVID-19 crisis came up, so a lot has been going on. So a lot of our report is related to the COVID-19. As you heard a little bit from our special meeting, we had to handle licensure issues, which will resolve if we've not encountered any problem yet. So thank you. As you all know, that the governor is letting the stay home order expire this Friday. May 15th was the last day. He's letting that to expire and move on to, it depends on, you know, like for us, we will follow the White House CDC's guideline. So our agency will be going into phase 1 beginning on Monday, May 18th. What does that mean for our office? Following that guideline, we will continue to stay home, work for 2 more weeks until May 29th. That's part of that 14 days process to make sure it's still safe, continue to stay distant. And then if everything's still, if it hasn't changed, then we will enter to phase 2 after that. And then after that, we get into phase 3, depending on the data and information that we receive. So, so far, since we've been working from home, it's been working out very well for all of the staff, using all the technology that is available. Zoom is what we've been using mostly for our meeting, Hangout, phone conference, and all that. And we've not had any issue providing services to the community. And I'm going to talk about the different things that we have done. And then I'm going to let Betty talk about the other things that we have done to address with COVID-19. First of all, May 4th was my 22 years anniversary working here at the commission as the director. Can't imagine 22 years, good years. So time has gone by fast and I still have a lot of work to do. So, oh, yeah, thank you, Commissioner Condon, for your clap. Anyway, so that's a highlight of, you know, I'm still alive and still well and happy to still be here. Okay. A lot of media covers the last couple of weeks, which is great. With the work with Betty, again, she'll talk more, and our relationship with the PR agency. I have been on TV, radio interview lately. Had two the other day. I have one tomorrow, again on Monday. Just a few minutes ago, let me back up. I had a radio interview with KTAR the other day. It was a very good interview, and the interview, there were 2 parts, and it was aired last night or this morning. I can't remember now. There's just so many different media, I can't remember. Well, anyway, our call, as part of the interview, our call to action was the clear mask. We can't get the protected clear mask, and that's one of the biggest issues not just here in the state of Arizona, but across the nation. So I was hoping some genius engineering or someone could come up with a design for a protected clear mask. But we just got a response a few minutes ago from someone who is interested in working with us. So I just got the email before this meeting started. So hopefully it's something that we can work out. So I'm really excited about that, and especially the interest is there that some people want to help us. So I'll keep you posted on that effort. We have met with the community. Some of you were on that call, what we call the status update. That is we call different community leaders and community partners, including state officials. We had some legislators on the call. We wanted to check in with the community, what was happening, the reaction to the virus related to accessibility with healthcare, information, and all of that. And we received a lot of good feedback. And based on that, we made some changes. One of the feedback was that COVID-19 information, it was just overwhelming from the community, and they expressed that they're not very much interested on a national information. They want more Arizona information, specifically related to Arizona. So we improved that on our website. Again, Betty will explain the changes that we have made. And I'm going to move on, then I'm going to let Betty talk. The other thing is that I think around January, I have my own my own professional social media page in my name, Sherry Collins, on Facebook and Instagram. And the purpose is to raise the level of engaging the community, and so far it's been really good. We're getting a lot of following, and just more personal, more connected with the community. I'm doing a lot more video stories on different topics. So you might find my professional page. You can like my page on Facebook and Instagram. Again, it's under S. Sherry Collins. So I'll let you know that. Also, as you know, over the years, I've been working, on early intervention infrastructure, the system over the years, and realized that we really need to have someone to assist working with Betty. So we've decided to hire Sonia Samaniego, who used to work with the Department of Health, and she had a background in early childhood with deaf and hard of hearing children. So she has a very strong background with family services. The purpose of that is to focus on system change, policy change. We need to improve the infrastructure services for families and children and get them kindergarten ready for language acquisition. And she just started yesterday. So I'm really excited to have her with us. She's on a special project. It is not a permanent position. She's with us on a special project, working on a high level project with Betty. Last night was a special guest speaker on Arizona Hands and Voices with a family. They have a weekly meeting since the coronavirus started, so they start having a weekly meeting with families on Zoom. So I was the speaker last night. Great discussion and questions, and I hope we will continue to do that. Also, the Arizona Relay Service contract, our current contract expires in I have to ask Curtis. May 31st. I knew it was June. May 31st. The new contract is awarded to Sprint again. Everything is pretty much the same. You won't notice the difference. So, so Sprint won that contract, will go in effect of June 1st. I'm gonna pause right here and I'm gonna turn it over to Betty. Then when she's finished, then I can open for question if that makes it easier. Okay, so Betty, please.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Betty McIntyre. So as Sherry was mentioning, we had the status of the state call with community members and leaders and partners. And from that conversation, as Sherry was mentioning, was the absorbent amount of information. There was a lot of information. It was getting very overwhelming, but yet there wasn't a lot of structure around it. And so one of the things that we, and we heard that actually kind of from all three of the various communities. So even though we created a COVID specific resource page, what we heard really clearly from the community is that it was just so much. And it was hard to digest all of the text and all of the links. And so we partnered with the PR firm Davidson Beluso to revamp that website, that landing page. And what the purpose of doing that is also to draw in the broadcast network and create a place where the channels like Channel 3 or Channel 15 or whoever will partner with us, that if they can create information in an accessible format that includes American Sign Language and is fully captioned and includes a transcript, then we would house that on our website. So it's a one-stop shop place for the community to come and get information, up-to-date information in the moment as it relates to COVID-19. So what we did was, I'm sorry, I feel like I have shadows. Is that better? So we started out with the template, and if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really pretty. I think it's clean. So you will see in the beginning is a new video by Sherry explaining what the page is and why we created it. There's a table of contents. So if someone wants to go straight to the resource links, they can click on the table of content and it'll take them directly to all of the accordion links where the resources are connected. We also have a section where we have nothing but videos that are done in ASL and fully captioned, and then they have transcripts attached to them. So for example, we work with DEMA in the partnership with the CDI's post press conference from Ducey. We not only post that on our Facebook page, but we also upload that into our website. And we just posted the one from May 12th today, this afternoon. So as the information gets to us, we update it. So we're putting the new stuff on the web page. That will allow that whole concept that the community was saying, accurate and up-to-date and timely information. So that's the first thing with the website. The second thing that we're working with is in our partnership is working with the Arizona Broadcast Network, their association. And what we noticed is some things were outside of DEMA's control, some things were outside of the newscast control as it related to some of the press conference format. And where we used to have interpreters right next to the governor, that was great. Folks could see it. We had captions. It it was beautiful when you were watching the newscast. But then the governor started and the DHS started spacing and sitting 6 feet apart. And so when that happened, we realized, oh my gosh, the only time you can see the news conference is with interpreters is if you have internet. And it's only if you're able to access it at that moment through the Facebook page and through the DEMA's YouTube page. So we reached out to the Arizona Broadcast Association and said, hey, can we bring back the interpreters? Can you do picture in picture? And so I'm happy to report that of the last 2 press conferences, we have had picture in picture. And it sounds like the majority of Arizona broadcast networks are doing some variation of the picture in picture. Now, with that said, we have also received amazing feedback from the community about how different stations from the different communities in Arizona, whether it's Yuma or Tucson or Flagstaff or Phoenix, depending on the channel, how small or big the box is. So, and that's impacting members' ability to receive the information, be able to see the information in a manner. So we're continuing to address those issues, empower the community to contact their local news broadcast, say thank you for the interpreters, but we can incremental progress and keep moving towards having the best manner in which the community can receive information. So we're going to continue pushing that message and really continue pushing having immediate access to information for the deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind community. We also received some messaging from the media and the broadcasts that they understand that in addition to providing interpreters through press conferences, there are taking note of their captioning as well. So they are striving to have more accurate and more real-time captioning for their news broadcasts through this COVID crisis. So I thought that was really exciting to hear that as well, that the message from the community, it's getting in there. As you heard, Sherry's got a lot of media. That's sinking in. I think that's really impacting the rest of the world, realizing how important it is to have accurate and in real time information. So the only other thing I would mention as related to the COVID stuff is we created as part of our website an ongoing CAU, Community Affairs Division, and the Public Policy Community Relations Division have been working hand in hand in creating communication cards that can download from our site. We have it under our accessibility link and also our healthcare link. Community members can open it up, print it, and then take it with them, whether that's to their doctor's appointment or if it's through, sorry, got my internet just went like this. Or and also for the providers themselves. So we're continuing to build additional collaterals that the community can print and easily take out into the community.
Thank you so much, Betty. This is Commissioner Jantz. I appreciate you giving us that update. And thank you so much, Director Collins, as well, for your update. And of course, congratulations on 22 years. You have really shown a good example for the community, for the agency, for the state. And we are so excited to have you. And I guess that doesn't mean, I guess that means you can't leave for 3 more years, right? You got to stay till you get to 25. So I'm assuming that wraps up the executive director and the chair report. Betty, do you still have any additional comments? You're next on the agenda with the legislative update.
I can provide a legislative update as well, if you would like me to move to that.
Sure, please.
So, real quick, we had a very weird legislative session because on March 13th, the legislative session recessed due to the coronavirus. And where that put the whole state in the legislative cycle was really right in the middle of the whole process, of the timing of the deadlines from when bills needed to be here in committee and when things need to happen. So we were fortunate that one of our bills, Senate Bill 1055, which was our agency continuation bill, went literally to the governor's desk the day that they went into recess on March 13th. So it was like, whew, we were able to get that done. And that was honestly, that was not my preference to have our bills. They were sitting over in the House for 3 weeks. There was a lot of back and forth between the two chambers, of one chamber holding the House bills and vice versa over in the Senate. So unfortunately, that's sometimes what happens, but we were able to get our continuation bill. But we were unable to get Senate Bill 1056, which was the bill that added deafblind to our statutory services, and also adding the language acquisition committee to our statutory responsibilities. That did get held up, never made it to the rules committee in the House. So by the time they went to recess for COVID-19, it still needed to make its way through some of the process. There were rumors that we were going to all come back this week, but last Friday, the Senate signee died. So they said they are not doing any more business for the rest of the session, which left us in this holding pattern because the House had not signee died yet. And the House was saying, well, we still have business we have to get done. People want us to do our jobs, but it was this, how do you bring 60 members back to a chamber when you have to do social distancing and there's CDC requirements. So in the end, what happened is the House did not come back. They ran out the clock for the 3-day rule. And now we are waiting on the governor to invoke a special session. So that will be the next step whenever we get through these phases and we can all come back and have more than 50 people in a room. It is expected that the governor will do a call for a special session to address COVID-related issues. What that means is any issues related to budgets, whether that's unemployment or education, anything specifically related to COVID will be addressed in that special session. So that is what we're all thinking is going to happen. We think it's probably going to happen after July, but that's just due to looking at when property taxes are due, when financial reports are expected, and really have a better understanding of where our economy is at as a result of the COVID crisis. So when we get more information on that, we'll definitely let you know. So that is pretty much the update. Everything just came to a grinding halt, and that's where we're at. Any questions?
Thank you, Betty. I appreciate that. I see Commissioner Benton has a question.
Thank you. I wanted to ask Betty, so if this is on hold and when the special session comes back, if they're going to be addressing COVID-related issues, these weren't COVID-related issues. So when might we hope that these would be looked at again?
Commissioner Bitton, that's actually a great question, and thank you. I forgot to wrap that part up of my update, so I appreciate you asking that. So 1056, the bill that did not make it through, what we will have to do is we will go back next legislative session and start the whole process over. Now, here's the positive to that. We have an election coming up in November. So things are going to change potentially as far as who is at the Capitol, who gets elected. Lots of things, lots of factors can impact. But we had a lot of support for 1056. So I have no reservations on us moving through this moving this through. As long as we keep it the way we had it, then we can get this through next session fairly quickly. But that's a great question.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Commissioner Benton. Are there any other questions from the commissioners before we move on? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move on to, let me just make sure there are no interpreter complaints that we're going to be going over tonight, correct? Okay, perfect. Then I will turn the time over to Commissioner Benton for the Interpreter Licensure Committee update.
Thank you, Commissioner Jantz. The Interpreter Licensure Committee met on April the 20th, and we reviewed 28 applications. We approved 25 applications for out-of-state video remote interpreting licenses, 1 in-state license, and 2 provisionals. And it's always great to see provisionals come through. Usually at the end of the academic year, we get a lot of those, the students that are graduating from the interpreter training programs. And so it's always exciting whenever I see a provisional, yay, more new mentees coming in, more people coming into the field. So that's always very exciting. Yeah, I think that's, we had 28. So that was a big group that we worked through. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Benton. I would like to move on to agenda item number 8, which is the Executive Director Annual Evaluation.
Yeah, every year my evaluation is at the end of the fiscal year. So I just wanted to let all of you know that the same as last year, we used the monkey or survey monkey concept online. You can complete that, and then I'll go to Curtis Humphrey, because he is our agency HR. So he handles that, and then he meets with the personnel committee and share the feedback from that evaluation. So I just wanted to remind all of you to be looking for that coming out in the next few weeks. So really would appreciate your input when you receive that. And I mean, hopefully that you provide feedback through the year. And I hate to have a surprise at the end of the year when you didn't tell me throughout the year. So would appreciate you communicate anytime through the year, because I prefer to address the issue right away than too late. So, but I really appreciate, if you take that time and provide input as well. So I just wanted to put that on for the record, that is coming your way, and then in the next board meeting, then you will review that. Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Director Collins. And I would like to add a reminder to board members that the survey will be sent out to you. Please make sure that you prioritize that survey within the given timeline. And we want to make sure that we get that completed in a timely manner. That way HR is able to process that. And Curtis, could you briefly tell us what the expected deadline is for this all to be completed? We can't hear you, Curtis. This is Curtis. My mic's broken, but I'm going to sign. Okay, can you see me now? I expect to have it out before July 1st. And the committee would not need to meet before the next board meeting. Oh, excuse me, they will need to meet before the next board meeting. And it'll be presented at the next board meeting. And do you have any idea of approximately when you will need everyone to respond to the survey by? July 1st.
So all of you guys can keep that in mind for your planning and just make sure that you have that completed by July 1st. Okay, so we're going to be moving on to the ACDHH form.
Okay. Oh.
Sherry, are you going to lead this discussion?
Actually, I want Curtis to talk about that, but with no sound on his end. So I'm going to do the best, and he can look at me and tell me yes or I'm not doing a good job. This is a requirement that that we have to do, you know, as Curtis is our agency business manager, and he participates all of the business budget meetings, and they meet regularly. And because of the COVID-19, we have to document all of the activities that we've done related with COVID-19. So, and it's just a requirement that the board needs to approve that we complete the form that you've received. It's just a formality that we have to take this a formal process for you to allow us, Curtis, to move forward to sign that paperwork to send it off for the DEMA. It's just part of the protocol. You're like here, can't see your sign. We need PBs to sign. We need PBs to sign that form. Okay, so the board vote, and then Katie can send that form for PBs to sign electronically and then send it back. Okay. So that.
You're muted right now, Chelsea.
Do you need to send that out for all of the commissioners to review that?
Katie, was that part of the board packet? Did you share that with the entire board?
Do not believe we included the actual form in the board packet. I apologize. I can send that out very quickly. Did you want me to send it right now via email and they can review quickly?
No. I just wanted that. I'm just flipping paper. It's supposed to be a part of your board packet. If you've not received that, we can send it again.
I just want to check in and see if any of you did receive that document or not. This is PV.
Curtis, can you explain what is included in that form? We need to move you down because we only see your neck. Okay, Curtis is typing to everyone in this chat. He said what it is just a request to assign the business operation coordinator, which is Curtis. So in other words, PB as the board chair needs to sign to allow Curtis to be the business coordinator, and Sherry Berta, who works with Curtis, is representing us. It's just a formality for, Sherry Berta is representing the agency. So, and that is the grant for DEMA. Hopefully that clarifies what was the intent of that form. And it's all related to the COVID-19 expenses, which we've been tracking. So we need to be part of that. It's just a formality. Hopefully that clears the purpose of this. FEMA.
Okay, so this is Commissioner Jantz. I just want to check in with everybody to make sure that we're all understanding the intent of what that form was. And do you have any questions or a point of discussion that you'd like to bring up? Commissioner Cinco?
Yeah, I do have a question. I'm not too sure what ACDHH actually is or what the acronym stands for, so I'm a little bit lost right now. Could someone tell me a little bit more about DEMA? Thanks.
Sure. I'm going to turn it over to Sherry to answer your question.
Sorry, thank you. We need to forget, not everyone knows the acronym. It's the Arizona Department of Emergency Management. FEMA, DEMA, all of that are related with emergency management. Sorry for the confusion.
No, that's fine. Thank you. I know it can be a little bit confusing with some of the state acronyms, so thank you for clarifying. And this is PV speaking. For the record, it's the Arizona Department of Emergency and Military Affairs, specifically is ACDHH. So it's all of the state agencies have to go through and log their expenses related to anything that has been declared a community or statewide emergency. So that way that the state can give them funding for those expenses. It's just according to policies, rules, regulations, we have to adhere to. So the intent of this form is for Curtis to be able to document and show we're appointing Sherry, to be able to appoint Sherry Berta as the person that will represent the agency. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies all of this. Any other questions?
This is Commissioner Senko. It's clear as mud.
Any other questions about this process that you would like to discuss? If no further questions or discussion, I am willing to entertain a motion. I just want to let you know that this does require the board's approval or denial. So we do have to make a decision related to this agenda item. I see Commissioner Benton and Annette Reichman. I saw Commissioner Benton first, and then we'll move on to Commissioner Reichman.
We could do rock, paper, scissors. I move that the board approves that Curtis Humphreys, if I'm getting the wording right, can be the designated individual to sign for the DEMA, the AZ DEMA form.
This is Annette Reichman. I second that.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Benton, and it was seconded by Annette Reichman. And just for clarification purposes, the clarification from Curtis is that we need to designate Sherry Berta to represent the agency for this process. So do we need to make an amendment to the name for this specifically, or can we proceed with how it was stated? Okay, so just for the record, again, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Oh, part of the discussion is that we need the full name as an amendment. So do we have anyone that is willing to make the amendment, or, okay. Commissioner Benton.
I'd be happy to amend the motion to include that Sherry Berta is the agency contact.
Okay, thank you. So we have an amendment by Commissioner Benton. Thank you. And then it was seconded by Annette Reichman. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. We are going to need to do a roll call for this, please. So I'm going to have Katie do the roll call for this vote.
Hello, everyone. This is Katie. I will go ahead and do the roll call for the vote. You could just give me one moment to switch my screen.
Oh, Katie, actually, we're going to do the other Katie. Sorry.
Oh, my apologies.
It's okay. No, Katie Lopez, you're going to do the roll call.
Okay, this is Katie Lopez. Okay, so for roll call for the vote, PV Jantz, Commissioner Jantz.
I'm the chair, so we'll wait until we go
Okay,
through the rest
gotcha,
of the names.
gotcha. Pardon me. Commissioner Sarah Benton,
Aye.
Commissioner Barbara Brimhall,
Aye.
Commissioner Antonio Calderon,
Aye.
Commissioner Tamara Collinsworth,
Aye.
Commissioner Sue Kneifel,
Aye.
Commissioner Annette Reichman,
Aye.
Commissioner Catherine Cienko,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard Vanover,
Yes.
Commissioner Susan Webster,
Yes, aye.
Commissioner Fred Williams,
Aye.
and Commissioner Jans.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the roll call. Motion carries and passes. So we're going to go ahead and get that sent over to me. I will sign it and then I'll get it sent back to you. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I know it is, these things can be a little bit interesting, but it's just formalities and what state agencies have to do to be able to get funding for statewide emergencies. So at the next board meeting, which is, I believe it's August, correct?
This is Commissioner
August.
Stenko. I believe it's around August 20th.
August 20th.
I might be a little bit off, but
Nope, that's it. Thank you. Okay, so our next board meeting is August 20th, and we still have no idea what will be going on with the state of the coronavirus. So we're going to have an ongoing conversation with the agency on what will be happening with the board meeting in Yuma and so forth. So just keep that in the back of your mind that we are obviously looking forward to being present and on site in Yuma, but we won't know until it gets closer. We will try and let you know, obviously, ahead of time because of technology and getting all of the logistics worked out in a timely manner. So it's not going to be anything that we decide last minute. With that in mind, whether we are meeting here or in Yuma, we still need to identify any future agenda items that will needs to be added to the list. So if there's anything from the executive director, she will be doing her review and we'll have that on the agenda. But if there's anything else that you would like to discuss, please let me know. Do any of you guys have any input on what you would like to have on the agenda at the August 20th meeting? I don't see any input at this moment. So what we're going to do is if anything comes up later on, please let me know or email Sherry and we will go ahead and put it on the agenda. Just so you know, it does need to be given to us at least 48 hours in advance from that meeting. So that's all I have on the agenda this evening. So it looks as though we can wrap it up if anyone is willing to make a motion to adjourn.
I make a
This
motion.
is Commissioner.
Commissioner
Oh,
Webster.
go ahead.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
Okay, so we have a motion by Webster and a second by Commissioner Calderon. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing and hearing none. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your time and your efforts to be here on this meeting. And we are adjourning at 5:34 p.m. Please be safe, continue to be well, and take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.